Hi, my name is Tim, and in this step-by-step tutorial I'm going to show you how to create a beautiful website in under 3 hours without any coding. Making a website has never been easier. It doesn't matter if you're 8 or 70 years old. Everyone can make a website with the technique I'm going to show you in this tutorial. We start off by getting a domain and hosting. Then we can install WordPress with one click. In the next step you can choose out of 1,600 individual page templates and 90 template kits. These are page layouts made by professional web designers that you can use and easily customize for free. In there you will definitely be able to find a design that is similar to one you want for your website. The templates are optimized for every device out there. That means your website will also look good on your mobile phone or tablet. We can then import the layout with 2 clicks and start customizing it. You can change anything, from the text to the font, images, the background. You can even create background videos, add animations, you can change and rearrange columns, you can delete things and add your own blocks or widgets. You can do and undo whatever you want. It's all a bunch of drag and drop and copy and paste. In the next 88 minutes, you will learn everything you need to know to build your first beautiful and custom website in no time. Let's start. You probably ask yourself now how we can build a website without any coding. And the magical answer is WordPress. You may or may not have heard of WordPress before, but I'm just going to give you a few details before we start. WordPress is a content management system or CMS. Basically, WordPress is a powerful platform that allows you to create and customize your website using different themes and plugins. So you can create virtually any website you can think of without ever having to touch a single line of code. It makes making websites easy and even a little fun. A fun fact, every third website on the internet is built using WordPress. Some of the people and companies using WordPress include Ariana Grande, Snoop Dogg, the Pixies, Usain Bolt, the New York Times, and a lot more. And the best part, WordPress is completely free because it's an open source software. If you want to save thousands of dollars by not hiring a web developer, watch this video. I show you everything step by step. If you're ready, I'm ready, let's go. So now that we are ready to get started, here's our game plan. First we'll need a domain URL. This is simply the name of your website. For example, Facebook's domain is facebook.com, Google's domain is google.com, and my domain is timwessels.net. Domain names are pretty cheap with around $15 per year. The second thing we are going to need is web hosting. Web hosting is a service that allows your website to be viewed because websites are hosted or stored on special computers called servers. When an internet user wants to view your site, all they need to do is type your website address, your domain URL, into their browser. Their computer will then connect them to your server, which is your web hosting. So if you don't have web hosting, nobody can view your page. Web hosting is also pretty cheap, with around $4 to $8 per month. The third thing we're going to need is a copy of WordPress, which, luckily for us, is totally free from WordPress.org. It's very important that you know that there's a difference between WordPress.org and WordPress.com. We want to use WordPress.org because it's the open source version of WordPress, which really allows us to customize a website how we like it. WordPress.com is sort of a light version of WordPress, which is much more limited in functionality. And that's it. Just these 3 things will get you an up and running website in no time. And here's the best part. In the past you had to get all of these things separately and then connect them all together. But now in 2019, or whenever you're watching this, the process is a lot more streamlined. And all we really have to do is get web hosting and the rest will automatically be included. It doesn't get much easier than this. So now that we did that, we can get into the real step-by-step tutorial. From purchasing web hosting to setting up WordPress and designing our beautiful website. If you need help with any step along the way or have any other problems, feel free to comment down below and I will do my best to help you out. And now let's really get started. In the first step we're going to click on the very first link in the video description. This will open up the resource page and article we are going to use in conjunction to this tutorial. In the first step we can check if our desired domain name is available. For example, if I check whether timwessels.net is still available, I will see that it's already taken. But you can always change up the domain name, maybe put a dash in there, or change the domain extension from .com to .co, .org, .net, or anything else. Once you find a domain that is available, like in this case wptutorialtim.com, we can go to step 2, which is getting hosting and a domain. Before you decide which web host is best for your website, I think it's important to know what makes a good web host and what makes a bad web host. Now, what makes a bad web hosting company? They oftentimes have slow server speeds, a low uptime, that means your website won't be online 24/7, but have some downtimes, maybe 2 or 3 hours per week, which is way too much because you're basically losing revenue. They also often have bad customer service, a weird pricing structure where you don't really know what you're paying and when. They sometimes even place ads on your website, and overall, their servers are not very secure, so your website may be hacked. So what makes a good web hosting company? Basically the opposite. They are fast servers, a good uptime, I would say over 99.5%. In most cases, they also have a very good customer support, transparent pricing, and good security on their servers. A few companies I personally would not recommend are companies owned by EIG, which is Endurance International Group. We can also open up the Wikipedia article. And if we scroll down here, you can see that they have a ton of subsidiary brands. For example, HostGator, FatCow, iPage, and a lot of others. So before you get web hosting, I would check on this Wikipedia page if the host is included in there, because let's just say their reviews haven't been as great. I don't want to be sued or anything, so I'm not going to say too bad things, but I would personally read a few reviews about their group and build your own opinion. And now that you know a little bit more about the web hosting market, which is actually pretty big, I will show you 2 of my recommendations. The first one is FastCommit and the second one is SiteGround. Let's just open them up. Here, I can click out of this tutorial. Okay, so this is SiteGround. As you can see here, they are also officially recommended by WordPress.org. You can also go to WordPress.org/hosting and go down here. As you can see, SiteGround is officially recommended by them. I will close that again. And I've been with them for years now. I never had a bad experience. They are really fast, provide an excellent customer support. I also recommended them to thousands of my viewers. And from everyone that chose SiteGround, I never once got back a bad review. So I think the WordPress recommendation speaks for itself. But there's also a Facebook group called WordPress Hosting, for example. I'll just open that up really quickly. And as you can see up here, they have 11,500 members, and they are also called WordPress Hosting. It's basically just a group about WordPress hosting, and they do a poll every year for the best web hosting service. And as you can see here, SiteGround came up as number 1 for 2017. That was just the first poll I was able to find, but I'm pretty sure that SiteGround also won in 2018. So overall, SiteGround is great. I would definitely recommend them. The only problem is that they are a little expensive. The introductory price at $3.95 is completely fair in my opinion, but the regular price, which is $9.95, that comes after your first contract, may be a little too high or out of your budget. I don't know. I personally don't have a problem with it, but in case this is out of your budget, I also recommend FastCommit. If we just click on Why FastCommit here, I would just recommend to scroll down and go through this page. They have really great arguments, especially the price, which is something I've never seen. Normally, almost all web hosting companies have a very low introductory price, and after a certain time the price goes up. but not with fast commit. They always stay the same, which I like a lot. Their servers are also really fast and they have great security. As you can see down here, you can also chat with them and they will always help you if you have any problems here. Premium support. I would recommend to just go through here. Here you can also see a little comparison. I definitely like fast commit and I would recommend that you use it if your budget is like about under $5, I would say. Then they are great. They also offer a free domain. Like I said, go to try fast commit, maybe even chat with them. They will help you out if you have any questions about the product. So I would say if your budget lets you use SiteGround, choose that. But if your budget is a little lower, choose fast commit. They are also very great. Because I already did a few tutorials using SiteGround and I also have a tutorial on how to install WordPress on SiteGround, I'm going to use fast commit in this tutorial. In case you decide to use SiteGround, you can just click on how to use SiteGround, then you will land on this WordPress tutorial where I will show how to install SiteGround. And I would also really appreciate it if you click on this button once before buying SiteGround, because as you can see here, this is my affiliate link and I get a little commission in return. And no, I don't just recommend them because it's an affiliate link. I really genuinely do like them and use them personally. So that's not why I do it, but it just helps me in creating these tutorials for free. So thank you for that. The same goes for fast commit. In case you decide to try out fast commit, you can just try out both of these. SiteGround has a 30-day money-back guarantee and fast commit a 45-day money-back guarantee. That means you can pretty much build up your complete site, and if you don't like it, just cancel it and you get your money back. So in case you decide to use fast commit, I would also really appreciate it if you click on that button once, because it's also my affiliate link and I get a little commission in return. And it's the same as for SiteGround. I don't just recommend them because I get a commission. Every web hoster has an affiliate program, but I just want to show you the best web hosts and finance these tutorials. So thank you for that. We can then just click on Start Now. Awesome. Here you can choose between 3 plans, the Start Smart, Scale Right and Speed Up plan. I don't think that you will need the Speed Up plan in the beginning because it has a lot of extra stuff. But I would decide between the Scale Right and Start Smart plan. The main difference between these two is that in the Scale Right plan you can host multiple websites and in the Start Smart plan you can host one website. I would recommend to just start out with the Start Smart plan. And then, if you need multiple websites, just upgrade to Scale Right. That is no problem at all. So I'll click on Start Smart, get started. Here you can see we can register a domain for free. So I'll enter in my domain name, which we already checked on my website. And on the right hand side, you can also choose the domain extension. The first 2 rows are for free, so .com, .net, .org, .biz, and all of these. You would have to pay in order to use those domain extensions, but you're probably good to go with these ones. So I'm gonna choose .com, and then I can click on Use this domain. Oh, and in case you already own a domain, you can also click on I already have a domain, type it in, and then click on Use this domain. Then you would only have to connect your domain to the fast commit servers. Okay, I click on Use this domain and register it. And here I have to fill in some account information. So I'm a new customer, first name, last name, company name, which is optional, address, your email address, phone number, your country, a master password, which is actually pretty important. So I would make sure to write that down or something because even the fast commit employees can see it. Then there's your zip code, your city and your state or region. Here we have the billing cycle. The longer you go, the cheaper it is. So if you pay for 36 months up front, you're gonna get hosting for $2.95 per month, which is really cheap. You can also go with 12 months, which is only $4.95 per month, or you could also pay monthly. but I think that's kind of expensive with the setup, so I would probably choose 12 months. Except if I already know that I'm gonna keep it longer, then I would also choose a longer period. And we also have a 45-day money-back guarantee, so to test it out, it doesn't really matter. Great. Add-ons, we don't need any of those, so here under domain ID privacy, I would uncheck that. Make sure that there are no other ones checked. And here are our configurations, data center location. You can choose between all of these data centers. Amsterdam is the closest to me, so I'm gonna choose Amsterdam, but I would recommend to choose the one that is closest to your customers. Here you can fill in your billing information, so your credit card, or if you wanna pay via PayPal, you can choose PayPal. I'm gonna fill that in later on. And down here we have a coupon code. I will click on enter it here. And if we go back to my site, you can see there will be a discount code. You can just copy that and fill it in. And awesome, now we save 5%. Once we filled everything out in here, which I'm going to do now, you can click on I confirm that I've read and agreed to the fast common terms of service and click on create account. Okay, now your account is getting created. Awesome. Here you will see, thank you for your order. You will receive a confirmation email shortly. So I will check my emails. Here's also my order number, which I blur out. And then I can click here to go to your client area. Awesome. We could start a walk me tour, but I don't think we need that. So I click on that X in the top right, but maybe you also want to migrate one of your sites. So you could choose one of these options. But I'm gonna click on that X. Here in the top you have some promotions, but we don't need those. What we can do is just scroll down. Here you see your active products. In this case, shared hosting, Start Smart, wptutorialtim.com, and the status is active. That is great. Then we can go to manage and just click on cPanel, which is this icon here. Then we have to enter our master password. So like I said, that password is important. Proceed. Awesome. And this is the cPanel. Here we can install WordPress. So what I want to do is scroll down until I see here, Softaculous Apps Installer, and here is WordPress. Then we click on there, click on install. Here we simply choose the highest version. Choose protocol. This is very important. Right now it's set to HTTP. If we look, for example, up here, it says HTTPS. This means that on this page, there's an SSL certificate. That's also why there's a log on the left side of it. If we were to install our WordPress installation with HTTP, it's possible that Google will block your website very often and you will lose a lot of visitors. So it's very important to install WordPress with an SSL certificate. So maybe if you go on here, it automatically shows HTTPS, then that's perfect and you can just continue. Otherwise, I would click on this and choose HTTPS once. And in this case, it says a trusted SSL certificate was not found. In case you choose HTTPS and this doesn't come up, perfect, then you can also continue. But in our case, an SSL certificate is not installed on our domain, so we will have to go back first, install an SSL certificate, and then continue. Like I said, in today's day and age, it's really important to have an SSL certificate, otherwise you will lose a lot of visitors and your page will also not rank as high. So we'll have to go back into the cPanel, which means I go back and click on cPanel once again, enter my master password one more time, and then we can just search let, or in this case, let's encrypt SSL. Click on this. This shows our domains with an let's encrypt certificate, and there are none. So down here, under your domain, just click on issue, include all of this, choose HTTP 01 and click on Issue. Then we have to wait a second. And awesome, an SSL certificate was now installed. Then we can click on Go Back. And here we have it. Perfect. Then we can go back into the cPanel, scroll back down until we see WordPress. Click on WordPress, click on Install, and it shows HTTPS. Let's see if I choose it again. It loads and perfect. Nothing comes up. Now we can go on. Directory, we leave that blank. Under site name and site description, you can type in your site name and a short description if you want to. For example, in this case, it says, learn how to make a website. We could do the same, but you can also change that up later on in the WordPress dashboard. So we don't necessarily need to do it now. We don't check this box. Here you can change your admin username and admin password. I would advise you to not use the word admin as your admin username because that makes it way easier to get hacked. I would choose another name, possibly also not your first name. Password, here you should definitely also change that. The word pass is way too easy. And here you can also change your admin email. I would also change that to your personal email. I'm just gonna choose a different email. Here under select language, you can select your language. I'm just gonna leave it in English. We don't need those. Advanced options, can take a quick look, but there's nothing special too. We don't need any of those themes because I'm gonna show you how to install another one later on. And then we can click on install. This may take a few minutes, but in most cases goes very fast. Awesome, now WordPress is installed. We can take a first look at our website if we click on this domain. Looks awesome, right? No, we are gonna work on that later on, but at least your website already works. And we can also go into our admin area by clicking on this. Perfect, and we are also already logged in. In case this doesn't instantly work if you click on that link, don't worry. If you just bought the domain, it is possible that sometimes the domain registrar where you register your domain may take a few hours until it really works. So don't worry if it doesn't work right away. Wait a few hours and test it every once in a while. It should work after a few hours. So don't worry. But if it doesn't, definitely write me a comment and I will help you out. Great. So now that we did that, we can click on dismiss here. And click on these little arrows just to close that all. Awesome. This is your WordPress dashboard. I'm just gonna click out of this tab and also click out of this tab. If you ever want to come back in here, all you have to do is enter in your domain name /wp-admin and then log in with the admin data we set up in the WordPress installation. We could basically go on now and start designing our page, which is basically the best part, but we're gonna do it a little bit different. First, we're going to do a bit of settings that I would recommend to always do when starting a new site. Then I will show you some of the WordPress basics that you will sooner or later have to know anyway, and then we will go on and design our page. So let me start by explaining the WordPress dashboard. Here in the middle, you basically just have some WordPress news and possibly some updates, but it's not very important, so I will just close it and then ignore it. Here in the top you have your admin bar, which we will also not need a lot. We will mostly need it to take a look at our website by hovering over the website name and then clicking on Visit Site. Here it is, but we can close that again. Or you can take a shortcut by hovering over New and then you can click on Post or create a new page. What we will mostly need is the left navigation. Here we can create posts, upload media, create different pages, edit comments, edit our appearance, so our themes or the customizer, which we will also work on later on, the plugins, our different users, different tools and settings. This may seem like a lot now, but don't worry, in this tutorial we will open up most of it and you will get what they are made for, so that's no problem. Let's just start by going to Users and Your Profile and making our site a little bit safer. Under Nickname, I would write your first name and display name publicly as Tim. Otherwise, people can see your admin name, which we don't want. Here you could also edit your email once and also edit your password. So that's an important setting. Then we can click on Update Profile. Awesome. In the next step, we go to Settings and Permalinks. And here we choose Post Name. This is better for search engine optimization and looks better. Then we click on Save Changes. If we take a look at our website by hovering over the name and clicking on Visit Site, you will see that our homepage is a blog page with this example called Hello World. We don't want that, we want to create a real homepage. So what we can do is create our first page. So we can go to Pages, Add New, X on this, and give it a title. For example, Home. Then we can click on Publish and publish once again, and now it's live. By the way, this is the Gutenberg editor, but we are not going to work with the editor in this tutorial because I don't think that it's better than Elementor. In a few minutes you will also learn what Elementor is, but this is already how we can create a page. Just edit the title and click Publish twice. Now we can go to Settings and Reading, and under your homepage displays we choose a static page, and under Homepage we choose Home, and under Post Page you could choose a page that is dedicated for your blog posts if you want to create any. I'm just gonna choose Sample Page in this case, but we could also leave it at Select. Then we can click on Save Changes. And if we update our page, we can see it's a homepage. By the way, you can't do the setting unless you already published one page. So make sure to publish your dedicated homepage before doing that. Now we can click on Settings and General. Here you can see our site title and tagline that we were also able to edit in the WordPress installation. We can do it now too. For example, learn how to make a website. And my tagline is just my name, for example. If we take a closer look at our domain, you can see that it doesn't start with www. But it's simply our domain name, nothing in front of it. In case you want to have www in front of your domain, we can do it here. It is necessary in today's day and age. Some people like it. I don't always use it, but if you want to have it, you can go into WordPress address, URL, and after the second / and before your domain name, just type in www. And do the same for site address. It's very important that you change nothing else. No uppercases, no dashes, nothing. Only www. And only if you want to do it. Because if you change something else, your whole site will crash and you will have to uninstall WordPress and install it again. We don't want that. I also don't want to have www in front of my domain now, so I'll delete that again. Since I edited the site tagline and tagline, I will have to scroll down and save the changes once. I just make sure that I really didn't change anything here, but I didn't. And then I can click on Save Changes. Great. Now we already did the most important settings. That's great. I go back into the dashboard once. In the next step, we're going on Plugins and Installed Plugins. You can think of plugins like apps for your smartphone. By default, your phone doesn't come with Facebook or WhatsApp, but you can go into the Play Store or App Store and install them. This is the same for WordPress. By default, it doesn't come with a shop function or with a contact form function, but we can go into the plugin store and install them. Most plugins are free or freemium, which means that you can use a limited version of the plugin for free. When installing WordPress, a lot of web hosters already install some plugins for you, but we don't need those, so we can click on this checkbox, click on bulk actions, click on deactivate and apply, and then click on this checkbox again, click on bulk actions and delete and apply. Okay, and now they are deleted. If you ever want to install a new plugin, all you have to do is hover over plugins and then click on add new. This is basically the App Store for plugins. Here we have some featured plugins, some popular ones. For example, with Contact Form 7, you can create contact forms for your website. With Yoast SEO, you can rank your site higher on Google. Or with WooCommerce, you can create a whole online store on your web page. And there are a lot more plugins. You can also search for a plugin in here. Or if you got a plugin from the internet or somewhere else, you can also go on Upload Plugin and upload your own plugin. We are not going to install any of these plugins, but if you ever want to use one of these, you can just click on Install Now and then click on Activate. Using the plugin is always a little different. For example, to use Contact Form 7, we have to go on Plugins and then Install Plugins, and here we can go into the settings and work on our contact form. Sometimes there will also be a new area here on the left side. In this case, for example, Contact, which is open right now, we can click on Add New or Integration, and sometimes you will not even see the plugin, but it will work in the background. I'm not gonna do anything more with Contact Form 7 now, but if you ever want to learn something about a plugin, there are a lot of tutorials for every plugin, so just Google it and you will learn everything you need. Great, I will go back into the dashboard. So now that you know what a plugin is, we can go on and use a theme. We hover over Appearance and then click on Themes. In order to make our site a little bit more lean, we can click on 2017 for example and delete it. Okay. And also on 2016 and delete it. Okay. We can't delete this one because it's the only plugin we have left and we have to have one that is active. Themes determine the overall look of your website, from color scheme to layouts and a lot more. In order to install a new theme, we simply have to click on Add New. And then we can search through all of them. Like with plugins, most of them are free, some of them are freemium, which means you can use a limited version of them, but there are also some premium themes available online. For example, if we choose this one, we can click on Preview to take a look at what it looks like. Looks okay, but we are going to use a different one, so I click on X again. We can also scroll through here. But we are going to use OceanWP in this tutorial. If you want to follow everything I'm doing in this tutorial, you would also have to install OceanWP. So I'm just gonna search for OceanWP. And here it is. Then we can click on Install. And activate. OceanWP is a great theme because it's freemium, but the free version lets us customize a lot of things, and that's not very common in free themes. So that's why we choose this one. Up here you can see that this theme recommends the following plugins: Elementor, which we are going to use, Ocean Extra, which we are also going to use, and WP Forms, which we don't need. So we can just click on Begin installing plugins, choose Elementor and Ocean Extra, and then click on Bulk Actions, Install, Apply. Elementor is the page builder we're going to use in this tutorial, which makes it super easy to build websites, and Ocean Extra just adds a little bit more functionality to OceanWP. Great. There's also one more plugin we're going to need in this tutorial. So we go to plugins and add new. And then we search for elements. By the way, we can also click on dismiss this notice so WP Forms doesn't annoy us anymore. Okay. And now I have to search for elements again. That's not that great, but I will do it. Okay. And we want to use this one, Envato Elements. Then we click on Install Now. Envato Elements gives us access to thousands of free templates, which we are going to use in this tutorial. They are going to save us a ton of time. And then we click on Activate. And it's activated. Awesome. Then we can click on Skip Setup here. Close this again and close this again. Great. Now we installed everything we need. We can take a quick look at our website. And at least it's not as full anymore, but it still doesn't look very great. But that's what we are going to work on now. So I go back into the dashboard. In order to use the Elements plugin, we have to click on Elements and sign up. So fill in your email in here, click on I agree to the Envato Elements terms and click on Continue. Great, now we can use it. You can even already see some of the layouts in here, but we're going to work on this in a few minutes. Let's just go to Pages and all pages first. And here you can see a privacy policy and a sample page, but we don't need those. So I check those two, go to bulk actions and move to trash, apply, and click on trash. Then I click on this checkbox, bulk actions, delete permanently and apply. Awesome. Now we deleted these pages. But we still have the home page that we just created. So I can click on home once. Great. As you can see, it looks a little bit different than just a few minutes ago. That's because we installed the Ocean WP theme and Ocean Extra. We are also going to do a bit of settings in here that we will have to do for every site that we work on. So let's do that now. First, let's take a look at our homepage. As you can see here, there's a right widget. Under content layout, we want to choose 100% full width. And if I click on update once and take a look at my homepage now, we can see that that's gone. Awesome. We want that. Then we go to header, and here under display top bar, we can go either on disable. You can't really see it now, but here's a small line, and above that is the top bar. In here, you could, for example, write your telephone number or your email or something. I will leave it at enabled for now, but later on we can also disable it. Then we go to title, display page title, disable. Right now we can see home in here, and if we update it and refresh the page, that's also gone. If we want to have our page name in there, we will do it with the Elementor page builder. Now all that's left is the top bar and our page title. That's great, because that's just the header. Then we can go to footer and display footer widgets area. This is this area. If we take a look at Amazon, for example, and scroll down, you can see down here is a footer bar, and these are footer widgets. If we would leave it and edit it in the WordPress dashboard, we could also do it the same way as Amazon does it, but we are going to use better looking footers, so we want to disable that. And also disable the copyright area, which is the lowest bar named copyright Ocean WP. So we also go on disable here. Then we click on update once again and refresh the page, and that's also gone. Now we basically have a blank page. You also don't have to do all of these settings. If you think that you, for example, need to have the top bar, which I left enabled, leave it. But these are some settings I would advise to take. Okay, so now that we did the basic settings that I would do for every page. So if we create an About Us page, for example, I would also do these settings. Or I would also do the same for a Why Us page or anything else generally. So now that we did that, I will close that again. Oh, and by the way, you see this admin bar up here, but your viewers won't see it. You can only see it because you're logged in to this page. Otherwise it's gone. So don't worry about that. Great, okay. So now we want to work on the design of our page. How do we do that? It's pretty simple. We click on Edit with Elementor. And now the Elementor page builder opens up. Another way to open up the Elementor page builder is, if we refresh this page, to click on this, Edit with Elementor. This only appears after you clicked on Edit with Elementor in your WordPress dashboard once. I could try and explain the Elementor page builder to you now, but I'm gonna be totally honest, I would never be able to do it as good as the team from the Elementor page builder can. So what I did instead is link the best tutorials on the resource page. So here the first video is basically the main instructional video that will show you the most important basics when building a page with the Elementor page builder. You can just take a look at this.
Welcome to Elementor.
And I would definitely recommend to watch this tutorial. If you want to watch it in a full screen mode, you can click on this. And if you would rather watch it on YouTube, you can also right click, copy the video URL and then watch it here. Okay, so these are the basics. If you want to build a whole page from scratch, like literally the whole page, and not use layouts, which you will see in a few seconds, then I would also recommend to watch this tutorial. This will show you how to create a landing page. It's about half an hour long and pretty detailed, but if you want to use templates, I don't think that you necessarily need to watch it. And then there's this last video. This just shows you how to make your website responsive. It's very important that in today's day and age your website also looks good on your mobile phone or tablet, and here you will learn how to do that. It's about 4 minutes long and I would also recommend to watch that. After you watch those tutorials, you are definitely able to build your whole site, and I would recommend that you do so. There are also some more tutorials from Elementor, but I think you are pretty much good to go if you watch those. And then you can continue with the tutorial I do here. So let's go on now. What we're gonna do now is use the Envato Elements plugin to import a whole layout. So in order to use Envato Elements, we can click on this green symbol here. And here you already see templates. There are also blocks and photos. But we don't really need the photos, so we can go back to templates and just take a look at some of these templates. For example, indoor rock climbing. Let's take a look at that. Here you have different pages. I'm gonna take a look at home 1, for example. And if we scroll down here, you will see what it looks like. That looks pretty cool. Then we can go back, maybe take a look at another layout, for example, independent film. Let's take a look at home 1. This also looks pretty good. Then we can go back again and back again. And by the way, if we scroll down here, I think these are over 80 different layouts and over 1,000 sites. Right? It's up here, the number here. 85 free template kits and over 1,500 individual page templates. You will definitely find one that is pretty similar to a page that you can imagine, or you can also use some of these blocks. If you scroll through here, you will also see that some of these are marked as pro. So if I, for example, go on Mexican restaurant, here home 1 is pro, menu 4 is pro, menu 2 is pro. This is simply because some of these layouts use widgets that are only available in the Pro version of Elementor. You can also just use the other layouts, but if you really want to have one of these layouts that uses a Pro version, I would just advise you to get the Elementor Pro version. It's not very expensive, I think $50 per year. I also have a tutorial on how to install Elementor Pro. This is just on the resource page. You can take a look at that. Hey guys. And I would also appreciate it if you buy Elementor Pro over that link in case you decide to use Elementor Pro, because it's also my affiliate link and I get a little commission in return. And it's also at no extra cost. So thanks for that. And yeah, here it's $50 per year, but you could also just buy 1 year and then you have it. But you just don't get the updates afterwards. But it's also totally okay to just buy it one time. So if you decide to check it out, you can see it here. We are going to work with the free version for now, but if you want to check it out, check it out. Great. In this tutorial, we're also going to use the Mexican restaurant because I think that site looks pretty cool. Let's just choose Home 2, for example, now. And if we want to use it, we can just click on Import Template. Then it's importing. And then we can click on Open Template in Library. I click on Got it, and it's already imported. Another way to import the page would have been by clicking on this symbol, going to My Templates, and then choosing this and clicking on Insert. But we have already inserted the page. I think the page looks pretty cool. I'm just going to do a little bit of customization. I'm just gonna imagine I'm the owner of a Mexican restaurant and I want to customize it a little bit more towards my own restaurant and just use it as a layout. So that's what we are gonna do now. I've already searched for some background pictures and different content, so I don't have to do that anymore. But let's just start by editing this background picture. So I can just right click on this section, click on Edit section, then I can go into Style. Here under Background Image, I can go to Select Files, search for the picture, upload it. Then I can click on Insert Media, and it's inserted. Now I want to work on this header. This should be a little bit more white and have a bigger shadow. So I clicked in here. Then I can go into Style, Typography, make it a little bigger, like that for example, and make a little bit more letter spacing, just like that. I like it this way. Then I can click out of here, text shadow, and make this one a little bit more dark, just like that. Yes, perfect. I will also do the same for Mexican traditions. So I go into Style, Typography, make it a little bigger, like that, and the letter spacing. I like it more like this, but I don't want any shadow. Then I can go back into the widgets, scroll down, and basically do the same for the lowest part. So I click on here, Style, change the image, Insert Media, click into Taste Off, Style, Typography, and also give it a little bit more of letter spacing. Like that, for example, because I personally don't like it if you can't really read it. Then I can go back in here. Then we can scroll up again. Here under View Menu, if I click on this, there's no link yet. So I'll put /menu, and later on when we create a menu page, it will also be called menu, and then it will be the right link. We could also go in here, go into the style for example, and change the color and also the hover color. So if I hover over this, the hover color right now is green, and I could just change it by clicking on here and then changing the color. But I like it that way and I'll leave it. And I go back into the widgets, Maybe I want to change that up a little bit. I like the section in itself, but I don't really need it that way. So I can just click on here, for example, change this image. So I go to upload files, select files, choose this one, insert media. I want to change up the text. This one is 3 tequila shots, for example. I mean, who doesn't like free alcohol, right? And I will just copy and paste this text that I already made to save some time. Every guest of legal age gets 1 free shot of tequila with every order you make. I think that's pretty cool. And I will visit that restaurant. Okay, now we did that. We could also click on hours and location, give it a link. For example, if we have an hours and location link or something like that. We could also give it another title, but I like it that way. I just click on that image box once again, go to style, and under hover animation I will choose grow, and if I hover over it, it gets a little bigger. I think that's pretty cool. Great, now we can go into the second column, click on this, I'll change the image, upload files, select media, choose nachos, insert media. What I can do now to save some time is right click this one, copy, right click here and paste style, and now we also have the grow effect. That's also what I would recommend. Always make one ready, make sure that it's mobile responsive and everything, and once it is, you can just copy and paste the style onto other sections and save a lot of time. Now I just changed the description by clicking in here and copy and pasting it. Great. And then we can also work on the third column by just clicking in here and uploading a file, select files. This time I want this chili pepper, open, insert the media, and copy and paste the style. Great. Then I just copy and paste a description. Awesome. And like always, you can also change up the link. Great. Now we already customized the section. It looks a little bit different than before. I just update the page once. And we can take a look at the page if we refresh it. Yeah, I think that's actually really cool. Here with a little hover effect, but let's continue. Okay, I just add some links in here, so I click on here, / visit, for example, if we have a visit site. About us is / about, and this one is also / menu. Great. Now we can scroll down, try our new maxi bold. Let's change that to try our new organic tacos. Click in here, change the image, select files. For example, this one, open it up, insert the media. Okay, now I'm hungry and I probably know what I'm going to eat later on. What can we do here? For example, we could change the background color. If I click in here, style, color, I copy that just to have it saved. But we could choose a green, for example, or a black, or purple, anything you really can imagine. I just go back into the normal color, and you can also do the same for these sections. I can just click in here, click on edit column, go into style, choose another color. In this case, I will choose red, for example, just a tad more like this. And then I go back into the background here and change the color to a green, like this. Awesome. Then I can scroll down. Oh, we have an all new vegan menu. Let's work on that. I can click in here, for example. Then I can choose another image. I upload my own image, select the file, choose this one, insert the media, view menu. I click in here on this button and give it another link, for example, menu vegan. Then I can update the page once just to save everything. I could also go into this one or click on here, change the color. We can work on everything basically. But as you can probably already tell, it's very important to choose good images. Take some great pictures of your business or of yourself, whatever you're doing, and use them wisely. That's one tip I would definitely give you, because it's way easier to build a great website if you have some good content. Great. Now we can scroll down further. Here we can edit some of this stuff. We can change the telephone number by clicking in here and then changing it up. For example, 123 458 456 789. And a cool trick I will show you is here under the link, you can fill in this. I will copy it right here. Okay. You write TEL, 2 dots. I actually don't even know what they're called in English, but you see them, and then your telephone number. If somebody clicks on that telephone number on the mobile version of your website, it will then automatically call your business. I can show you that too in a second. Then we can go into the open hours here and write something else. So Monday till Friday, 10 a.m. till 1 a.m. and Saturday, Sunday, 10 a.m. till 3 a.m. Great. I can update that once. And then we can click on these social media buttons, for example. Here under Facebook, I can click on it and then add in the link of my Facebook page or my Twitter page or my Instagram page. Maybe I don't have Twitter and I can delete that. I can add an item. For example, Yelp, because we're a restaurant. There are a lot of great options with Elementor, and it makes it super easy to do that. Maybe I also want a Visit Us button in here, so our visitors can find our restaurant easier. I can just scroll up, find a good button, for example this one, copy it, then go in here and paste it. But I want it just over this social media. Then I can click on this, give it a link name, for example visit, go to advanced. It has a motion effect right now, it will go up. We don't want that, so I just click on none. So that's also gone. Then I can go into advanced again. Here we have a margin, top 30, that's right, it's a little bit lower. We can also delete that. And give it a little bit of margin for the bottom of 25, for example. And just change the text to Visit Us. Awesome. Then we can update it. Great. We can also take a quick look at our site now and look at the mobile version. Okay. This all looks good. And if we click on this telephone number right now, you will see that this opens up. If I were on a real smartphone, it would automatically dial our restaurant. That's also pretty cool. Everything else looks good, but let's just say, for example, this is a little bit too big in my opinion. We can scroll up, go on the mobile version, click in here, go to Style, Typography. Now it's already selected, the mobile version, and I can make it a little smaller, for example. Also make the line height a little bit smaller, and if we go back into the desktop mode, it still looks the same. Then we can update the page fonts. Awesome. Now this page is ready for now. If we scroll through here, you will probably see that there's no way to enter any other pages because we don't have a menu. Let's add that now. To do that, we just have to go back into the dashboard. So we click on this hamburger icon and click on Exit to Dashboard. And before we make this menu, let's add some new pages. So we can go to Pages and Add New. I call this one Menu. Content Layout, 100% full width. Header, Disable Top Bar. Then we go to Title, Disable, and Footer, Disable and Disable. Then we can click on Publish and Publish once again. And then we add another page. This one is Menu Vegan. And we do the same settings again. And publish again. And another page. This one is Visit. Content Layout, 100%. Header, Disable. Title, Disable. Footer, Disable and Disable. Publish and publish. And one more page. About. And then we also publish that. Awesome. And if we go to our pages now, we will see that we have a few pages. That's great. But we're still, if I X out of here and refresh the page, we still can't see these pages. So now we have to create the menu. To do that, we just go to Appearance and Menus. Then we give our menu a name, for example, Menu. Then we click on Create Menu. And here on the left side, we have pages. Here we also have posts, but we only have this one sample post yet. There are custom links, which I will show you too. Categories, which you don't really need, and menu icon settings, which we also don't really need yet. Okay, let's start by pages. Which of our pages do we want in the menu? We want a link to the homepage, menu, menu vegan, visit, and about. Then we can click on Add to Menu. Here under Menu Settings, let's choose Main first and save the menu. Because now we could potentially see the menu. The only problem is that Elementor has overwritten everything and just left us with a blank page in the beginning. So what we have to do is click on Edit with Elementor. And under Settings, Page Layout, we choose Default. And then we update the page. And now we can see the menu. Don't worry, this doesn't look good yet, but we will work on that too. Okay. Then we can also exit Elementor again. Okay, so this is the menu now. We have About, which is the first position, Visit, the second position, and so on and so forth. If you want another order, for example, Home should be on the left, you just drag it up. And if we save the menu now and update it, Home is on the left. We can also change the text. About should be about us. And like that. Visit should be visit us. This should be called vegan menu. And menu should be called menu. I also want to have menu before vegan menu. And if we update it now, it already looks different. Maybe I think these are too many positions. So what I could maybe do is choose vegan menu and drag it to the right. And now it's a submenu of menu. If I save it and update it, if I hover over menu, we can see here is vegan menu. That's also an option. This icon on the right side will be deleted later on, but you could also leave it and search for something. We could also add a custom link. For example, you could call it YouTube and just link to youtube.com or for example to Postmates or whatever in this case. And if I save the menu now, update it, here we also have YouTube. Great, I will put menu back in that order and also remove this one. Great, then we can save the menu, update it. Okay, I like it that way. Now we can edit the menu in the customizer. So let's do that. We have to hover over appearance and then click on customize. In the customizer, you can basically work on the design of your theme. In here, we only worked in the Elementor page builder, but the customizer is everything that includes the theme. So in this case, it's the header menu. We have to edit that in the customizer, but it then will be the same for every site we add with the Elementor page builder. So if we add a menu page, the header will also be the same. As you can see here, we are on the menu page and it's the same header. Okay. It's built up the same way as the Elementor page builder. Here on the left side you have your options, which you can edit, and on the right side you have your preview. There are also a lot of options. I will not show you all of these because there are way too many, and you will probably also don't need 99% of those. You can go through them, they are pretty much self-explaining if you really want to learn them, but I will just show you the most important ones for this tutorial. Let's start by going into the header and general. Here we can choose different menu styles. This one is called minimal. We could also choose transparent. Then we have a transparent background. This can also look pretty cool. We can also choose top menu or full screen. If we click on this hamburger icon, it will then open this up. You can also choose center or medium, vertical, and a custom header, but we will leave it in minimal. Here we can also change the background color to black, for example, or red, or whatever color you want to have. And there's also a border bottom color. We can't really see it now. We would have to go into transparent for that. And then we can choose a border bottom color, for example, red. And here you have a little line. I will go back to default and choose minimal again and leave it in white. We can also go into the height and make it bigger or smaller. I just leave it in 74, for example. Then we can go back once. Then we can go to logo. And in case you already have a logo for your business or your website, you can upload it here and then it will be there instead of the website name. So I just select a logo, upload files, select files, choose the logo I want to use. In this case, this one is from one of my German YouTube channels. I skip the cropping. Now it's way too big. So I go to max width and set it to 235. That's a good size, I think. Oh, and by the way, in case you don't have a logo for your business or website already, you can go back to the resource page, scroll down really far, and down here I also have a tutorial on how to get a logo from Fiverr. They are pretty cheap, but also pretty good. So if you don't have a logo but want one, you can get one for about $5. Great. Now we also added a logo to our website. Then we can go back once. Go to menu. Here under menu position, we can choose left, for example, or center or right, and the links will change the position. Then we can scroll down a little bit. We can click on link color and change the color of the links. I already searched for the colors of the Mexican flag, so I will put them in here. Now the color is green. Link hover color is when we hover over this, right now it's set to blue, and the link will appear blue then. I want it in another color. I also want it to be green. No, just like that. Great, and now it stays green. And we also have a current menu color. So the link that you're currently on, for example, the home link, will also be in another color. In this case, it will be in this red. Great. We can also add a links effect. Right now it's set to no effect, but we could, for example, choose underline from left, and if I hover over it, it will underline from the left, which is pretty cool. Or you can choose any of these, for example, brackets, X marks on the spot. There are pretty cool options. I'm gonna choose underline up. Here you could also change the color, but I would leave it in this gray. Then we can scroll down really far. Search icon style, disabled. And then the search icon is also gone. If you want to have it, you can also leave it. Then we can go up again and go back. And go to mobile menu. If we go on the mobile version here, you will see that it doesn't look good. I will set the height to 40 pixels, otherwise it's too high. And I will select a smaller logo for the mobile menu. So what I can do is take the logo I already have and open up this page called resizeimage.net, upload the image, open it up. Here it is. Then we can scroll down, resize your image, and here I will just choose 7%. This is something you would have to find out by just testing which size fits best. Then we can scroll down and click on resize image. Wait a few seconds and download the image. Open it up. Put it in the right place. Great. Then I can close that and close this page. Select an image, upload files, select files. Choose this one, open it up, choose image. And now that looks way better. Awesome. I click out of this. Mobile menu style, here we have sidebar. So if we click on this, the sidebar will open up. We can also choose drop down, rich. Then it will drop down, or we can choose full screen. And then the menu opens up like that. I will choose sidebar now. We also want to have display menu text checked. If we uncheck it, the word menu is gone. But you can also change the text from menu to whatever else you like. And we can also change the custom icon to whatever you want, basically. Great. Here you can also change the color of this icon to the right color of green. Now that also looks good. Then we can scroll down. Direction is okay. Drop down target is also okay. Styling mobile menu. Here, mobile menu search. We click on this checkbox, so the search bar is also gone from here. But now we have to change some of these colors. So links color is this one again. Link hover color is, and by the way, I would advise you to find some colors you want to use for your page. For example, in my case, I wanted to use the Mexican flags colors, so there's green and red. Choose some colors you always want to use, save the hex code, which is this code, and then reuse it. If we look on this, yeah, that looks cool. Close menu, yeah, that's good. Then we can scroll up a bit, go back once, go to typography. No, let's edit the top bar first, just to show you what this is. So this is the top bar. We can go to general. Right now it's enabled, and if we look here, this is the little top bar. We can go back once, content, and write something here. If we publish that and refresh the page, you will see this is the content of your top bar with the phone number, but I would leave it disabled because I don't think it looks that good. So we go back once, general, and disable the top bar, but we could also do it in the site settings that we added for every site, like I showed you. Okay, now we can go to typography, go to main menu, then we go to font family, and we want to change the font to the same font as our Elementor page. So we go back in here, edit with Elementor. That's simply because we don't want to have too many different fonts in one website. I would just click on this writing, for example, go to style, content, typography, family is NTR, okay. Then we can go in here and just search for it. Here, NTR. Great. Now it's also the same font family. Let's capitalize it. And let's first go back into the desktop menu and font weight, semi-bold, no, bold, yeah, bold is okay, font style, normal, font size, let's make it bigger, for example, 25 or 35, for example. That's good. Awesome. Then we can go back once again, publish it one more time and update the page, because I'm really not sure if the top bar is already gone. No, it stayed. So what we have to do is go to the dashboard again. Here's the home page, and under header, we disable the top bar, update it, take a look at our site. Awesome, the top bar is gone. I like this menu a lot. And if we open up the page on the mobile version, it also looks good. Great. Like I said, here are hundreds of different options you can use, which is actually a pretty great thing, because in most free themes you won't find as many options as you can find here. But we actually don't really need these, because most of this stuff will be done in the Elementor page builder, and just some of these settings, like for example the header, are done in the customizer, which we now did. I can click on X to get back into the dashboard. I click on dashboard. I'll just show you one more example for a page we could edit with the help of Envato Elements and Elementor. So let's go to pages or pages. Then I'll choose menu, for example. Go to edit with Elementor. Then I click on Envato Elements. Search for the Mexican restaurant. Here we have it. And then I choose menu 1, for example. Yeah, like that. Click on import template. It's importing. Then I can X out of here. And I could, for example, click on this document. Go to my templates. And under menu 1, I can click on insert. Yes. Then it's inserted. And it now automatically shows the page layout default. But if you can't see the menu, you would have to go to the settings again and then choose default. Great. What can we do here? We can change the background image of this. Click on here, style, background, upload files, select files. For example, I'll choose that one, open it up, insert media, and now that also looks good. Here you can barely read Taste of Mexico. So I click in here, go to style, typography, letter spacing, and add some more of that. Then I can click on the widgets again. Here we have our menu with the different food. For example, guacamole, vegan maxi boards, avocado toast. And you can simply click in here, change the text. Click in here, change the image. Change this text, or click on here and change the link. You can also delete one of these boxes by clicking on delete. Or we can go back and we still have the same one. We can do that for all of these and also for these ones. We can edit the prices, the text, whatever you want. For example, here in avocado, it isn't on the same height as Mexican salad and vegan maxi bowl, so I click in here, go to advanced and give it a little bit more top margin. So for example, 45, no, 50, no. Yeah, 55 looks good. Then I can update that. Then we can scroll down a bit. Oh, and by the way, you can of course also edit the color of this text, or you can also make a link out of this and then make an extra site for every piece of food you have to describe it, maybe how you make it, which ingredients it uses, and everything you want. This is just one example. Here we can also go into the background and change the color to purple. We can click on this image, select another one. We can select another image if we go back in here and choose, for example, this one. There are a lot of great options you can use. You can also go in here, make a different offer. We can also delete that whole section. For example, we don't celebrate Cinco de Mayo in our restaurant, but we want to have a great footer. So what I would do is click on X, delete that whole section. Then I would open up my homepage in another tab. Like this, because I like the section down here. So I can click on edit with Elementor, scroll down, right click on this section, click on save as template, give it a name, for example, footer, save it, then it's saved. Now we can X out of here. Go in here, we would probably have to update the page once and then refresh the site. And if we scroll down and click on this icon, go to my templates, Here we have footer. Then we can simply click on insert. Yes. And we have the same footer as in the homepage. That's great. We can do that too for every single site on our website. That way it will save us a lot of time and we have the same footer for everything. That's great. But we could also edit it later on. Maybe we don't have that offer. Delete it. Great. Now we only have these two offers. Then we can update the page fonts. Awesome. Now that was just another quick example of how we could do it. I'll X out of this and go back into the dashboard ones. I'll just open up another page, for example, visit. Click on edit with Elementor. Great. By the way, this obviously just was one example for this Mexican restaurant, but you can use any of these. There are so many great designs and you will definitely find one that fits to your need. And then just go in there, look what you like and customize it the way you want it. You don't just have to use anything that is used in here. You can also add in widgets and build sections yourself. Or you can use sections that are made by Elementor. We can click on here. And then we can either use pages that were made by Elementor. Here these ones are free. There are some labeled as Pro, which you can only use in the Pro version. But there are also a lot of great pages. Or you can also go to blogs. And here you have different blogs that you can use. For example, frequently asked questions. Or you can go into the categories here and search for one. For example, services. Here we can just click on this, insert it, and now we already have a services section. We can also go on Envato Elements again, choose blocks, choose FAQ for example, and maybe I want to use this one. Then I can just click add block to page. Then it's inserting it. And we already have this block. These blocks are made by professional designers and they are given to you for free. So I would definitely use them, customize them a little bit, and no one will know that they are pre-made blocks. So that saves you a lot of time and make your site look very great. So I would definitely advise you to use them. I do it all the time. If you want to have a contact form on your site, just search for a contact form 7 tutorial, or you can also use blogs with the contact form in them. And everything else, to be totally honest, there are thousands and thousands of tutorials about Elementor. There are tutorials for every single widget. There are tutorials by the Elementor page builder on how to build a landing page. And there are also a lot of tutorials for every single plugin. So if you don't know what to do, either Google it, you will always find an answer, or a forum in which you can ask your question. Or you can also write me a comment and I will definitely help you out. So don't worry about that. Great. I hope you liked this tutorial. If you did, please leave a like because then YouTube also knows that the tutorial is good and I get more viewers. So thank you for that. That really helps. If you have any questions, let me know and I will help you out. Thank you for watching. Good luck with your website and have a great day. Bye.